Friends is one of the most popular primetime sitcoms ever, and there is no denying that it has made a huge impact on pulp culture. It recently had its 25th anniversary, so I think it'd be fun to take a look back on the iconic series and check out the celebrities who guest starred on it. They have a pretty impressive roster that you guys might have forgotten about. I'm your girl Joss, welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. You can find us outside of this screen, our social media links are down below, and stick around to the end so you don't miss out on the comment features and blooper reel. Let's get into today's list. Here is the top 10 celebrities you forgot appeared on Friends. Beginning our list, number 10 is Robin Williams. The beloved actor and comedian appeared as a guest star in an episode back in 1997. It was during season 3, the episode called The One with the Ultimate Fighting Champion. Considering how big of an actor he was at the time, having him on the show was a huge deal. And still is. He appears at the start of the episode when Monica is about to tell the rest of the gang a story at Central Perk. But she gets interrupted by two customers, Thomas and Tim, one of them being played by Robin Williams. They ask Monica and the gang to make room for them on the iconic couch, and when they do, they eavesdrop on the men's convo as Robin's character breaks out into tears, claiming that his wife is sleeping with another man. Turns out the other man was his friend Tim, who is sitting right next to him. So they end up getting into this big fight and they leave the coffee shop. Robin's scene was short, but that's because it was not planned. He was actually on a nearby set at the time the episode was being filmed, and he wandered onto the Friends set where the writers asked if he would be up for a quick cameo. Billy Crystal, who played Tim, was also working with him and then just joined in on the fun. Their entire scene was actually improv, including the dialogue with the rest of the cast, but it will still forever go down in history. Up next, number 9 is Reese Witherspoon. She played Rachel Green's spoiled younger sister Jill, and no one could deny the hilarious chemistry between her and Jennifer Aniston. But when Reese was asked to make a return to the show, she declined, which is weird because most actors would have jumped at that opportunity. Just a few days ago, Reese revealed that she turned down the offer because she didn't like performing in front of a live audience. For those of you who might not know, Friends is actually filmed in front of an audience, so all the laughs and reactions that you hear are actually real. Reese admitted that she was so nervous while filming that she completely blacked out during her experience. Of course, we couldn't tell because she naturally did a good job in her performance, but that was the one and only time she has ever filmed with a live audience. When talking to AP Entertainment, she said, "I've never done it again. They asked me to go back and I said I couldn't do it. I was too scared." Her co-star Jennifer was with her during the time of this interview, and she was a little disappointed because she had no idea. But if you want to see them on the screen together, you can, because they are on a TV series right now called The Morning Show. Look how that works out. Cruising into number 8 is Danny DeVito, the legend. He appeared in an episode in season 10 called The One Where the Stripper Cries, and it's probably the best cameo in the history of television. He appeared as a man named Roy who showed up to Phoebe's bachelorette party as a stripper named Officer Goodbody, although there was nothing good about his body. The girls booked him last minute, so it was basically all they had left. He does this hilarious and awful stripping dance number that actually has some of the cast members laughing during the scene, and they just kept it in. But Phoebe can't keep her disgust to herself, and he ends up breaking down into tears and decides to leave the stripping profession forever. Now, after all these years, the actor has talked about that legendary episode. He admitted that he got the cameo in the first place because Jennifer Aniston was his neighbor at the time and she hooked him up with the gig. He told People TV, "I didn't go down as far as I would like to have gone, but that's okay. How could you pass up a chance to strip for the lovely ladies on Friends? Wouldn't miss it for the world." And we are so glad that you didn't, Danny. Sniping the number 7 spot on our list is Paul Rudd. Nowadays, you are probably used to seeing him in the Marvel Universe taking on the role of Ant-Man. But there was once a time when he was on Friends and he played Phoebe's husband, Mike Hannigan. The relationship was a fan favorite, and that probably came after the episode where they changed their names to Crap Bag and Princess Consuelo Banana Hammock. We watched their relationship grow from just dating to being engaged to saying I do at the altar. He played a big part in the final season of the series. He was first introduced in season 9 and played her love interest for a total of 17 episodes. And even though he's huge in the MCU right now, the actor says that people always bring up his time on Friends. During an interview with ABC News, he admitted that people will go up to him on the streets and say, "How's Phoebe?" Fun fact though, apparently Mike and Phoebe weren't supposed to end up together originally. Actor Hank Azaria, who played her ex-boyfriend boyfriend David, revealed that it was his character who was supposed to marry her. He spoke on it and said, "The plan was to bring David back, but I think what happened was Paul Rudd is so awesome that they sort of found a groove with him." No hard feelings though. He also said that Paul Rudd was comedically deserving of Phoebe's love. So all is good in the hood. In spot number 6 is Julia Roberts. For pretty much an entire generation, she was the most famous woman on the planet. That's why it was such a big deal to Friends fans when she made her way onto the show. She played the role of a girl named Susie that Chandler once tormented when they were kids, but then many years later he goes on a date with her after seeing that she looks like Julia Roberts. A total babe. But her time on the show ends with an epic scene where she tricks him into going to a restaurant bathroom for him to put her panties on. She tells him it's just something kinky that she's into. But when he does, she takes all of his clothes and runs away as payback for when he used to torment her as a kid. The reason behind the cameo later came to surface, and they actually asked Julia to be on the show because of the Super Bowl in 1996. Part 1 and 2 of episode 13 was scheduled to air after the Super Bowl, so NBC knew that they needed something big to keep the viewers watching. What better way than to hire Julia Roberts as a guest star? Good call on their end. Halfway through list number 5 is Charlie Sheen. Phoebe had a handful of love interests throughout the series, and Charlie Sheen was one of them. A military man named Ryan. He appeared in season 2 on the episode called The One with the Chicken Pox, where he and Phoebe both get the chicken pox during what was supposed to be a romantic weekend together. After spending months being submerged inside of a submarine, he resurfaces and asks Phoebe on a date even though she had the chicken pox. How romantic. But he ended up getting screwed over because he got them from her, and then they were both infected, uncomfortable, itchy, and couldn't even enjoy their time together. The co-creator of the show, Marta Kaufman, sat down for an interview recently and was asked if she regrets anything from the show. She revealed that there were 2 episodes and this was one of them. She said, "It's much harder for me to enjoy the good moments when there are moments in it where I'm going, oh my god, we let that happen? We did that?" Nothing against Sheen's performance, but the episode wasn't really anything special in my opinion, and it kinda gets overshadowed by all the other really good ones. In spot number 4 is George Clooney. He played one of the handsome doctors during a season 1 episode called The One with Two Parts. In the episode, he teams up with actor Noah Wilde to play the 2 hot doctors that end up flirting with Monica and Rachel. The girls end up in the emergency room after Rachel hurts her ankle, and they switch names so that she can use Monica's health insurance. But while they are there, they run into the 2 doctors and they ask to go out on a double date. What's funny about this cameo is that it was kind of a crossover to the TV series ER, where both the actors played doctors. The whole episode is basically everyone deceiving each other. Monica and Rachel change names and don't tell the doctors, and Clooney and Wilde change the names of their ER characters to other handsome doctor names. It's not actually this big elaborate crossover that was planned to happen, but it's pretty cool that it worked out that way. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched this episode, I didn't even recognize that it was George Clooney. It went right over my head. But that's because he looks really young, no offense. Alright guys, in the 3rd spot is the hilarious Christina Applegate. Her character is actually one of my favorites. She took on the show of Rachel's sister Amy, a really rude and shallow girl, but absolutely hilarious. She appeared in a few different episodes throughout the series, but from one of them came one of the most memorable jokes of the show. It's when Amy refuses to remember that Phoebe's name isn't Emma and doesn't understand why Phoebe keeps saying Phoebe. That's when Amy asks, why does she keep making that noise? Applegate later revealed while talking to Today.com that the famous line almost didn't happen. She said, that was written as a rewrite in front of the live audience. But it seemed to pay off because she actually won an Emmy for her guest appearance, and if it wasn't for the actual line itself, it was the way that she delivered it that won her that award. It was perfect. Here we are number 2 with Bruce Willis. He showed up in 3 episodes during season 6, and his guest appearance was also a huge fan favorite because the overall storyline was hysterical. He took on the role of Paul Stevens, who happened to be the father of Elizabeth Stevens, Ross's girlfriend. Seeing as Ross was Elizabeth's professor, her dad wasn't too pleased with the relationship. Throughout the few episodes, he starts to date Rachel, so it's this incredibly awkward double dating situation. Bruce also won an Emmy for his performance on the series, but the story of how he got his cameo is the best part of everything. It was later revealed that he ended up on the show because of a bet. Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry, Chandler, met while filming the movie The Whole 9 Yards. Bruce didn't think it would do well at the box office, but Matthew thought that it would. So they made a bet that if the movie was #1 at the box office, he had to appear on Matthew's show Friends. I'd also like to point out that Bruce donated the money that he earned for the guest appearance to 5 different charities. So he deserves more than an Emmy in my opinion. What a sweet man. In our #1 spot is the legendary hottie Brad Brad Pitt. It was back in 2001 when he appeared on a season 8 episode titled The One with the Rumor. He took on the role of Will Colbert, a man who was holding a grudge towards Rachel, who he went to high school with, and he says she wasn't nice to him. Yes, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt were once married, so this cameo goes down in history. But his character Will is so angry because he lost 150 pounds since high school, and Rachel started to flirt with him because she didn't even recognize him. He was invited over for Thanksgiving by Monica because she was friends with him in high school, seeing as they were both the fat kids. So the whole episode is Brad Pitt making fun of his ex-wife and making up a rumor that she was a hermaphrodite. Brad recently took a trip down memory lane and talked about his experience on the show. Apparently he messed up his first line when he went for the audition. He told Us Weekly, "I remember it. It's a great cast, man. I mean, they laugh and really have a great time with each other. But I flubbed my first line and we had to stop and start again." We can forgive him for that though. Nothing is more iconic than the pairing of Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. It's genius. Well, there you have it guys, that is our top 10 Friends countdown. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share your thoughts with me down in the comments. In the meantime, let's check out some comments from my last Friends list. Christina Dunbar says, "I love the show Friends, my favorite is Joey." I think he's a favorite for a lot of people. My personal favorite is Ross. I used to hate Ross. Now as I got older, I love Ross. Tiffany V says, "I watched it growing up, but I agree, don't do a reboot or a reunion. Leave the show on a high note. Sorry." Don't be sorry, I totally get that. Everyone can have their own opinion. I just feel like no matter what they do now, it won't affect anything that's happened. Like, the show was already a huge success, so even if a reboot didn't do well, doesn't matter. Malali Charlie Man says, "I miss the old Matthew Perry." Same. But there's still hope, you guys. Candace P says, "Anyone remember the epic fail that was Gilmore Girls reunion? No? LOL, that's why they shouldn't." Hey now, wait a minute, I loved the reunion. Was that considered like a fail to other people? Because I really liked it. Alright, that is our Friends list. If you are a Friends fan, hit the thumbs up button, and if you're not, hit it anyway, for me. You can keep watching more of our videos, just stay on this screen, but in the meantime, you can catch the bonus content that will start right now. I could never do an improv scene like that, like it looked completely scripted.
Really?
But Robin Williams is his spirit is with us. You can keep watching more of our videos, just stay on this screen. No, there's no playlist on our channel, right? No. Hold on, I'm supposed to say a playlist, but this is not I.O. I'm doing too many top 10s, I'm confused. In fact, look how that works out. They played sisters on Friends and now they're on a show together. Looking like it's, no, that's the curtain. This is long. It looks like it's getting dark out there, but I think it's just the curtain. Like the blinds.